mountain lions. We all had this idea that mountain lions were these big predators, which they are. Nasty, big teeth, big eyes, claws. Yes, they have all of those things. And we thought they really, hear about people getting attacked and killed and all of these things. And it was like, whoa, these things mountain lions are pretty impressive. But getting to work with them, it soon became apparent that these are actually quite timid cats. Very different. In fact, the polar opposite to the leopards that I was working on.
That kind of just blew me away, that I could be able to see right here a mountain lion and be with an incredible expert.
Very, very seldom. And if you ever get to see a mountain lion, it's, you're very lucky. There are tools that we have to use in order to study these incredibly elusive animals. And one of them would be a trail camera. Trail cameras are really effective observational and monitoring tools that sit out in the landscape day and night, 24/7, winter or summer, and they observe and capture any animal that moves in front of it. I mean, it's just precious to be able to witness how these animals, what they're doing in these intimate situations. But really, to get into the mind of a mountain lion, to really understand what they're doing and kind of figure them out. Well, I mean, cats are cats, but what are these guys doing and how are they living in this environment? We're able to only really do this through the use of these satellite GPS tracking devices, these GPS collars that we place on them. Now they're bulky and they're aesthetically not really pleasing, but they don't hamper the behavior or anything for mountain lions to actually carry on doing what they do. But they provide us with some unbelievably cool information. How can you make a difference going forward and sharing information with people, your peers, neighbors? It's a lot easier, I think, and more palatable for somebody to get that information from a friend, a colleague, or family member than me blabbing on some conservation kind of guy. But we operate on, donations and things like that. But I prefer the idea of, rather than just seeing it as a donation when people contribute to our work, to see it as an investment. And it's not an investment into our project, it's an investment into your environment. Through our safaris, for example, that we use those as a win-win kind of situation where people go on safari, pay the same as what they would pay normally, and the funds that come from that are a way for us to help keep this going as well. We think that the tie with business is something that's lacking in an incredible way here in the States. The Leopard Project in South Africa, over 80% of our funding came from the corporate sector, and it was finding ways that business could align themselves with the environment, and we would love to see more of that here in California. Creating opportunities where, like these win-win situations, where looking at tracking mountain lions, for example, where people pay to go out tracking mountain lions as a tourism opportunity, and get that special experience.
We also found out that we like mountain biking, and so a dream of mine came true when, after meeting him, we went mountain biking with Quinton at the same time, tracking a mountain lion.
I must say, I personally feel incredibly grateful to be here because Steve took me mountain biking this morning, and I'm lucky to have survived. So I was thinking, anyway. But how do you study one of these incredibly elusive animals? I mean, it's not like you could sit out on the slopes where I was lying exhausted on my mountain bike ride this morning, sort of trying to catch my breath, going, oh my God, Steve, let's stop the landscape. It's so beautiful. In fact, I could breathe. And you could see how they spend this time together walking around where each point is on top of the next point. And for like 2 days, these cats, and it looks like a bicycle wheel spokes, staying on the mountain biking theme.